Here, I welcome to all my dear students. In the last lecture, we had seen essential of effective planning, need and importance of planning. Today, we are going to learn steps in planning. So let's start with the steps in planning. Steps in planning. Planning is concerned with defining organizational goals and determining the resources needed to achieve them. The planning process helps to move forward with clarity and saves your time, energy, and capital. Planning is a mental to do things in an orderly way before acting and to act in the light of facts. Generally, the various steps involve the planning activity. In this slide, now we will discuss the steps in planning. The following steps are involved in the planning activity. The first point is identification of the problem. The manager must identify the problem that calls for planning and action. All managers should know they stand in light of their strengths and weaknesses. Managers should be aware the opportunities in the external environment as well as the organization. Thereafter, next point is setting objectives. The major organizational unit objectives are set in this stage is to be done for the long term as well as for the short term range. Objectives define the results to be achieved, indicate the primary emphasis is to be placed. The network and policies, procedures, rules and budgets, and programs. Planning is not possible without objectives. It is a path to achieve the objectives. Next point is developing planning premises. Planning is always for the future which is uncertain. Certain assumptions have to be made for formulating the plans. Assumptions are made in the form of forecast, exacting plans, past policies, etc. Planning premises are assumptions regarding external and internal environmental conditions. Plans are formulated in the light of both external and internal factors. There is Next point is developing alternatives. The alternatives course of action is an important step in the planning process. Various alternatives can be identified based on the organizational objectives and planning premises. The alternative should be thoroughly examined. Planner must usually make a preliminary examination to score the most possibilities, as well as experience are required to several possibilities of action available in situation. Alternative scores. Next point is evaluating the alternatives. They should be evaluated in the light of premises and goals. They involve the study of the performance of various factors. Factors such as profitability, investment requirements, risk, benefits, and organizational facilities. They should take into consideration evaluating the alternatives. The alternatives human factors should also be considered. The planner should use scientific tools and techniques in the alternatives. Thereafter, next point is selection of an ideal course of action from the alternatives. The planners select the best and most plan to be implemented, and the ideal plan is the most profitable with the least of amount of negative consequence is to dynamic situation. The selection is made in the light of objectives and planning premises. Next steps in formulating derivative plan. The plan is selected to be implemented. Managers will have to come with one or more derivative plans. These plans are formulated, the main plan, and they are required to support the basic plan. Next point is implementing the plan. This plan is process of turning plans into action to achieve the objectives. It requires the use of other management functions such as organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. The tools required for such implementation, the types of plan, procedures, policies, and budgets. And the last step, planning, is follow-up action. In the planning process relates to follow-up action. This step mainly relates to the controlling functions of the management. These steps planners are regularly monitor and try to identify weakness for corrective measures. The feedback mechanism is an to attempt determine whether the plan has achieved the desired result. So, these were the various steps in planning or the planning process. Thank you.